Have you ever just had rice on the brain? It happens. Hey, how's it going? So, like I said, I've got rice on the brain, and I decided, let's make a risotto recipe. But I want to make, first thing, is a broth to cook the risotto in. And, well, I've already got like 5 cloves, 2 star anise pods, stick of cinnamon. I'm going to just throw in 3 dry chilies. These are anchos. And also, I'm going to put in about, I'd say, 1.5 quarts. So I'm going to make 2 cups of rice, or risotto. The usual ratio is 2 cups of liquid to 1 cup of rice. And like I said, I'm making 2 cups of rice. So I need at least 4 cups. This is a quart. This is a quart. It's better to have too much than too little. So I'm going to put in probably about 5.5 cups. And we'll bring this up to a boil and just let it steep for a little bit. While that's happening, I've got corn. This is about 1.5 cups. Yes, it's frozen. I'm okay with that. If you got fresh and you want to go through the trouble of taking it off the cob and stuff like that, feel free. I'm going to put a little bit of butter in that. And I'm going to throw this in, well, might as well season it. A little salt. A little pepper. And I'm just going to throw it in the air fryer for just a few minutes, just to kind of thaw it out, melt the butter, and get some flavor going. Oh, did I tell you I'm making a crab and corn risotto? I am. Oh, and it's going to have a Southwest feel to it, hence the chilies and good stuff. So I'm going to let this come up to a boil. Let it boil for a good 5 minutes or so, and then just let it steep. I'm going to throw a lid on it too. Then I'm going to strain it, and it'll be ready for it. But I want to keep this hot because it works best with the risotto. And one thing about risotto, don't think of risotto as rice. Think of risotto as a technique. More on that later. Oh, hey. My corn's done. It's back there. This is the broth. I'm straining out all the solids. Make sure we get all that goodness. This stuff smells incredible right now. We'll set that off to the side. Get a ladle handy. And I'm just going to set this right here, because next we're going to start cooking our rice. Now, don't be afraid, because there's a lot of ingredients in this. It's all fairly simple. And think of it, what I want you to think about is the technique itself. In my earlier videos, I put a little equation in the end that said 1 equals thousands. What does that mean? No, it's very simple. One technique equals thousands of recipes. And that's what I want you to learn here, is how to make risotto. Then the flavor combinations, whatever you feel like. So, let's get on with the technique. And you get a pan warming up. I'm just going to melt some butter in it. This is about 2 tablespoons. And we're going to start off with our first 4 ingredients. Got some shallots. We'll wait for that to go. Cumin, coriander. These 3 and garlic are going to go in after the shallots have cooked a bit. We can get the shallots in there now. We want them to soften up just a bit. Take on a little color, maybe. Okay, I think we're ready for the garlic. This is about 2 good-sized cloves. Coriander, cumin, I need a little bit more fat in there. So I'm going to throw in a little bit of olive oil. And in comes the star of the show. Well, one of the stars. This is Arborio. Don't get fixated on that type of rice, Arborio. That's the most common you're going to find in the States. It's not necessarily the most commonly used for risotto. Think about that. So we want to get the rice coated and just starting to cook a little bit. We want it to start to smell a little bit nutty. Okay, that's looking good. Mind you, I'm at medium heat. You don't want to go too hot on this. We'll throw in a few ounces of white wine. If you don't want the wine in there, you don't have to put it in there. But it gives it a nice little fruitiness to it, so. Okay, the wine is cooked down. It's time to start adding our broth. And we want this to just come up to a boil, and we're just going to add the broth a little at a time until it's absorbed all that it needs. And that's the key. You want it to absorb what it needs, not try to force it to take more or less, of course. But while we're here, we can start adding some of the supplementary flavors. I've got some green chilies, just about 4 ounces. And our corn. I put mild green chilies in here. If you want spicier, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. And I'm not going to cry if you do. Let's hit this with some salt and pepper while we're at it. Now let's talk about when to add more liquid. What I go by is I just take my spatula and run it, and it's pretty much dry. That's when I know it's time. And we'll just repeat this process until we're almost done. And then we'll start adding the star of the show, which is our crab. You don't want to add the crab right away because, well, the crab I get, mind you, I'm in Colorado. The only fresh crabs you can get are in the pet stores. And there's not much meat on those. So I get prepackaged, sometimes frozen. It's what I gotta do. So, it's already cooked. It's pasteurized. All it needs to do is warm up. And that's why, that's gonna wait till the end. Okay, I've got about 3.5 cups in there. Time to check this for doneness. Not quite there yet. Flavor's good though. So when you think about doneness on risotto, think about pasta. Pasta is best when it's al dente, not cooked to mush, and not crunchy. This is just a little bit crunchy. I think it's going to take another cup of our broth. We'll add that in, and we'll check it then. Okay, it's time to give it another taste. It needs just a little bit more cooking, but I think we could finish that up when we add our final ingredients. Okay, 4 final ingredients. Of course, star of the show, the crab. A little bit of cream. Not much cream, doesn't take much. Okay, we'll give it one more taste. Good. This time I was checking for seasoning, for flavor, and we are there. We got the rice cooked properly. So let's plate this up. Got a nice bowl here. Now this is going to make about 4 entree-sized servings. Let's talk about garnish. I like just a little squeeze of lime juice. Got a few chilies here. I'll just throw a few Fresnos on there. Those are the bright red ones. They're really beautiful. For a little bit of heat, we're going to throw on some jalapeno. I've got some cilantro. I just like to tear the whole leaves up. I think I just like that presentation. And let's throw on a little bit of avocado. There we go, some avocado on there. Oh, off camera. I warmed up some crab. So there you have it. Crab, corn, risotto. Remember, learn the technique, and then you've learned thousands of recipes. I'm Chef Jerry. I'll see you next time.